Okay. Okay, so for those parents that they're already here, thank you so much for attending this live session. If you guys can hear me, may I just trouble you to put a yes down so that I know that I can be heard. Okay, and we will start the live session at 5 on the dot. So for those that are here early, perhaps you just have to wait for a little bit more before we start the session. Okay. Okay, so for those parents that just joined, our live session will start at 5 o'clock. So we are gonna wait for 1 more minute. Okay. Hmm, no. Okay. Okay, it's 5. Okay, so let's get started. So good afternoon, everyone. Today we're gonna learn money problems. Okay, so thank you so much for spending your time in the afternoon to come for today's live session. So let's proceed. Okay, so for lesson 1, we're gonna learn money problems, and now we will move on to our learning objective for today. All right, so our first learning objective is to understand money and its conversion. Next, we'll proceed to learn to compare different amounts of money, and lastly, we learn to solve simple word problems involving money. Okay, so money is something that is very relevant to our daily life, whether it's you're an adult or you're a student. Right. So before I proceed, just want to give a brief introduction about myself. Okay, so I'm from Think Academy, and my name is Teacher Junjie. Right. So the same name as a very famous singer from Singapore. Right. So in short, normally my students would call me Teacher JJ. Okay, and I'm a P2 teacher in Think Academy. I graduated from the National University of Singapore, and I have 4 years of teaching experience. Right. So with that, let's proceed. So for our live session, we will have a total of 3 weeks, so one lesson every week. All right, and it will happen on every Thursday, 5 p.m. to 5:40 p.m. So you can join for free through WeChat or YouTube, and playback is provided. So of course, we encourage you to take part in the live session, but if you really need to miss it, we will have playback provided. So please don't be worried. Next, for every session, after every session, we will have a homework. And whenever you submit your homework, you're going to get 1 star. All right. Afterwards, after you collect 3 stars, you're going to get a certificate. Okay. So this is how the certificate look like. So we encourage all children to, all students to finish their homework so that they can get their certificate. All right. Okay. So for the first lesson today, we're going to go through money problems. Followed by next week, which is on the 9th of July, we'll go through 3D shapes. And finally, the last session we have, okay, we're going to go through fractions. And all these topics are very relevant in your P2 syllabus. Okay, all right. So now let's get started on the lesson. So we are at the Think Academy supermarket today. Okay, so I hope all of you guys have been to a supermarket before, whether it's by yourself or with your parents. Okay, so now at the supermarket, what are we gonna see? Okay, definitely we're gonna see coins, right? So let's take a look at the question together. Look at the coins below. Have you seen them before? Okay, please write down the value of each coins in the boxes provided. Okay. Oh, and also forget to mention, I will be looking at the comments given, whether is it on WeChat or YouTube. So if let's say you know the answer and you want to, you can just key in the comments on whatever platform that you're watching it. All right. So if I'm not looking at the screen, most probably I'm looking at the comments. Okay. So let's continue. So let's take a look at the first one. So the coins on top, if you guys are familiar with, is the older version, right, of the coins in Singapore. Okay. Whereas for the coins below, okay, they are the newer version. All right. So let's take a look at the first one. Okay. So the one with number 5 on top. Okay. Who can tell me what coin is it? Okay. And we know that, yes, okay, this is 5. Okay, let me change to pen. Okay, and we know that this is 5 cents, right? Let me write that 5 cents. 5. Okay. Five. Oh, and cents. Okay, what about the next one? Very good. Okay, the next one is 10. Also, is it cent or dollar? It's also cent, right? So I'm going to write down 10 cent. All right. So the next one is, okay, after 10 cents, what do we have? We have 20. What's happening? Let's see. After 10 cents, we have 20 cent. So at this point of time, you realize that based on the coin, you can already see the amount of the value of the coin, right? The number of the coin already show the value of the coin. So next one, we have, what value do we have on the coin? We have 50 on the coin, right? So we know that definitely this is just 50 cent. And what's the final one? Okay, you see the number, the digit 1 on the coin. So is it just 1 cent? No, right? I believe you guys all know this is the $1 coin. All right, so this is $1. Okay, so what's the difference between cent and dollars? So you realize that when you write money in cents, the symbol, okay, the symbol is at the, where's the cent symbol? Let's highlight it. Okay, the cent symbol is over here, isn't it? Okay, and you realize that when we write the monies in cent, the symbol is at the back of the number, right? So let's write back of the number. Okay, however, when you are writing money in dollars, okay, where's the symbol at? So once again, let me highlight the symbol, right? Okay, so this is where my symbol is at, okay? So as compared to cents, when we write monies in dollars, the symbol is actually at the front. Okay, so let's write front down. FRONT. Okay, of the number. All right. Okay, so now let's move on to the next page. Okay, so now let's see if you actually understand what did I say. All right, so you can type out, okay, or just shout out the answer at your house. So let's look at the first question. $2, is it A or B? Okay, so maybe for each question, I'll give you guys like 3 seconds to think about it. All right, because it's a quick quiz, right? So $2 is A. Very good. Okay, what about the next one? 5 cents. So remember, we say that for cents, we're going to put our symbol at the back, okay, of the number, right? So it's A or B. Okay, so it's still A. Very good. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. $9. Okay, do I put the symbol in front or at the back? Okay, it's in front, right? So if it's in front, it's still A. Okay, so remember, we always put cent behind the number and we put dollar sign in front of the number. Okay, now we have 17 cents. So once again, this should be very easy for you guys, right? The answer is just B. Okay, so same thing. So now, okay, put cents in front or behind. Okay, so we know that the answer should be behind. Very good. Okay, next one. Okay, put dollars in front of or behind the number. Okay, so now let me take a look at the response given. So I have some say A, some say B. Take a look at YouTube. Yes, okay. So for this question, put dollar sign in front of, right? So in front of should be B. Very good. Okay, so now what do we need to do? Let's read the question together. Count the number of different type of coins and fill in the blank. So let's do one by one, all right? So the first one, there are how many 5-cent coins, all right? So let's count 5-cent coins. Okay, let's see how many 5-cent coins are there. We have one. Okay, just a brush. I have one. I have two. I have three. I have four. I have five. And lastly, I have six. Very good. Okay. So how many 5-cent coins do I have? I'm going to write down. Six. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if you realize that when I'm counting, if I miss out any, okay, you feel free to point me out. Just say, oh, teacher, you missed out one. Okay, hopefully I don't miss out any. All right, come, let's take a look at the next question. There are how many 10-cent coins? So maybe let me change the color. Let me change to pink. How many 10-cent coins are there? Okay, let me label them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's see if I missed out any 10-cent coins. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you realize what happened? I accidentally highlight the wrong one, right? So this is why you need to be careful, all right? So this is just how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so similarly to 10-cent, 5-cent coins, how many 10-cent coins do I have? I have 6. All right, come. Now, what's after 10-cent coins? Very good, right? There are how many 20-cent coins? So once again, let me change the color. Okay, let me change to green now. So for every 20 cents, I'm going to mark take. Okay, so 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, okay, 4 take, 5 take. Is that all? No, realize that there we have one more over here, right? Okay, so now let's check, double check, see if we take all the 20-cent coins. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, do we have more? Okay, so far no more, right? So we can write 6 20-cent coins. Okay, and we all know that after 20 cents, what's after 20 cents? The next one is 50 cents, right? So let's count how many 50-cent coins are there. Okay, so change color one more time. And I have one 50-cent coin over here, 2 over here, 3 over here, 4 over here, 5 over here. All right, so let's count again and see if I mistaken any other coins as 50-cent coins. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I just have 5 50-cent coins. Okay, so let's write down 5. All right, and lastly, okay, we are left with our final coin, right? The coin with the biggest value. What is it? It's just $1 coins. Okay, so now let's see how many $1 coins do we have in total. Okay, maybe let me get a orange. So $1, 2 $1, 3 $1, and 4 $1. Okay, do we have more? Yes, we do, right? We have one last one in the middle. Okay, so how many do we have in total? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we can write down 5. Okay, so now we're done with the question, but what I want you guys to do is Okay, whenever you're doing a math question, you should always double check. Okay, so now let's see, do we take all the coins we have? So we can just take a quick glance and we realize that, oh, okay, all the coins, we take them already, right? So most probably there should be nothing wrong with our answer, all right? Okay, come, let's take a look at the next slide together, all right? So of course, in Singapore or in any country, right? Not only we have coins, okay? What else do we have? Other than coins, we also have notes, right? So I hope you guys are familiar with the Singapore notes. Okay, so look at the notes below. Have you ever seen them before? And please write the value of each note in the box, in the boxes provided. Okay, so let's start with the first one, the purple one. Okay, what note is this? Let me change to pen. I know that this is there. Okay, it's already written on the note itself, right? It's $2 notes. Okay, so let me write. Okay, $2. Very good. Okay, what about the next one? Okay, the green one. So once again, very easy. Okay, this is $5. Okay, oh, you see the dollar signs are not very well written, so maybe let me write again. Okay, and the next one I have is $10, right? So all this shouldn't be a big problem for you guys, okay? I believe you guys have been seeing money around in Singapore, right? So, okay, $10. Okay, and the next one is $50, right? So $50. And the final one might be a little bit more rare, okay? The final one we have is actually $100. Okay, so $100. Okay, so $2, $5, $10, $50, and $100. Okay, so once you guys are done writing, okay, I believe this should be very easy for you guys, isn't it? Okay, let me take a look at the comments. Okay, so far you guys are giving correct answer. Perfect. Okay, then now let's proceed with the next explorer, right? So write a price tag. Okay, so now let's take a look at the green part on top over here. Okay, what happens when we see dollars and cents together? Okay, do you know how to read and write the value? Okay, so let's see. Okay, we have one $2 note over here, and we have 150 cent over here. Correct. So how do we read it as? So do you see the blue guy here says we read it as $2.50, right? And we write it out as $2.50. Okay, so this is how you write $2.50, right? And you realize that, okay, we actually split the dollars and cents. Okay, so what do we split it with? Okay, we split it with a dot in the middle, right? You realize that there's a dot over here. Okay, so now let's try to answer fill in the blanks. All right, so when combining dollars and cents, we write a dot in the middle. Okay, and remove the symbols for cents. Okay, so we write the values of the dollars on the what of the dot. So we realize the dot is here, right? Okay, and here is the right of the dot. Here is the left of the dot. Okay, so we write the value of the dollars on the right or left. Okay, maybe I'll wait for a while, okay, and see if you guys can get the answer. Okay, so far. Okay, very good. Okay, I see some people type L, right? So L stands for L. Sorry. Okay, L stands for left. All right, so let me write left. Okay, L E F T. Okay, left, right? So if the value of the dollar is on the left of the dot, then we know that the value of the cents is left with the right of the dot. Okay, so let's write down R I G H T. All right. Okay, so maybe just give you guys a few seconds to copy before we move on to the next page. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, come. Next page, okay? So now let's see, okay, how we can practice what we learned just now, right? So let's learn about decimal notation in money. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. What do we have over here? We have a book, right? We have a book over here. Okay, so how much is this book? Okay, this book is $4.30, right? $4.30. So how do we split $4.30? Very easy. Okay, in dollars. Okay, how many dollars are there? There are $4, right? So there are $4. Okay, and we have 30 cents, right? So $4.30. Okay, now let's take a look at the sushi. For sushi, okay, how much money is it? It's $9.70. Okay, so once again, let's write down $9.70. Okay, what about the next one? What is it? Okay, this looks like a drum to me. All right, so for the drum, it says $29.09. So what does 09 actually means? Okay, so $29.09, $21.09 means, okay, so we have $21.09, right? Okay, can we write 09 cents? They actually mean the same thing, okay, but we don't want to write 09. So we're just gonna write 9 cents. And finally, you see I have 0.85. Okay, so 0.85, what does it mean? We know that the number at the right of the decimal place represents the what? That represents the cents, right? So for cents, I have how many cents? I have 85 cents, okay? And just now we say that the number on the left of the decimal point, what is it? Okay, it represents the dollar, right? So do we have any dollars over here? $0. Okay, so for this question, I'm just gonna write $0. Okay, I hope all of you guys are done. If not, I'll just give you guys a few more seconds, okay, before we proceed to the next slide. All right. Very good. Okay, so now let's write it down. Okay, so we have 32.00 over here, and based on what we said just now, we know that the number to the right of the decimal point represents cents, right? So what are the numbers to the right of the decimal points? 0. Very good. Okay, so for this one, it's just going to be, 0. All right, so it's just 0. Next one, okay? Number to the left of the decimal point is 32. Okay, and moving on to the next question. Okay, how many dollars do we have? Which one do we look at? We look at numbers to the left of the decimal point, right? So it's just 51. And numbers to the right of the decimal points, what does it represent again? It represents the number of coins, all right? A number of cents. Okay, so it's just 72. Very good. Okay, so now let's answer the question. The decimal point separates the what from the what? Okay, separates the cent, C, E, and T, okay, from the dollars, right? Dollars. All right. Okay, fabulous. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Next slide. Okay, so remember we learned how to write price tag, right? And just now we said we put cent in front or behind. We put cent behind the number, okay? And we put the dollar sign in, we already give you a clue, right? Into something, so it cannot be in behind, right? So definitely is in front. And lastly, we use a dot to separate the dollars and the cents, okay? And we just call it the decimal point. All right, so moving on to the next question, okay? So let's see what is this person, okay, this creature over here talking about, all right? So what do we have over here? Okay, what is the value of the coins below? And how do we write that? All right, so what coins do we have over here? Okay, let's see if I can get any answer from the live stream. Okay. Okay, so we know that the question says we can see from this slide that we are seeing 10-cent coins, right? So how many 10-cent coins are there? Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have 10-cent coins. Okay, so how much money is 10-cent coins? Okay, so how can we find that? So there's a way, right? If you want to express it in cents, you can just take, oh, sorry. You can just take 10 times 10 equals to 100. And I can say that, oh, it's actually 100 cents, right? But in real life, do you guys hear anyone saying, oh, I have 100 cents? Not really, okay? So the value of those coins are actually 100 cents, but we can convert it, right? So we can also convert it to dollars, right? And the value is, okay, so when I have 10-cent coins, what is the value of this amount of money? I know that it is $1, right? So I'm going to put $1. Okay, so do you know any other ways to make $1? So maybe I can give you guys another one, right? I can also have 5 20 cents. All right. So you guys can think about what are there some other ways that I can make $1. All right. Come moving on to the next slide. Okay, so now I want you to know how to convert dollars and cents. All right, so I have $2 over here, and I want to know $2 equals to how many cents. Okay, so now let's see. I already know that $1 is how many cents? I already know that $1 equals to 100 cents, right? This is what we got just now. Okay, so if now I have $2, okay, instead of $1, I have $2. Okay, so from $1 to $2, okay, what happened? Okay, 1 times what equals to 2 times 2, right? So I know that if I want to go from $1 to $2, I have 2 times 2. Okay, if I times 2 on this side means the other side I also have 2 times 2. All right, okay, so I also have 2 times 2 for the other side. And I believe you guys all know what is 100 times 2. This is not very complicated multiplication, isn't it? Okay, so 100 times 2, easily I get 200. Okay, and I can say that, oh, actually, $2 is just 200 cents, all right? So let's fill in the blank together, 200 cents. Next one, oh, now I have a relatively bigger amount of money, right? So just now I have just $1 and $2. Now I have $16. All right. So similarly, let's write it down. Maybe let me change the color, change to green. I know that just now $1 I have 100 cents. All right. So now from $1 I have how much money now? Now I have $16. Okay. $16, and I want to know how much money is $16 in cents, right? So I already see correct answer in the comment section actually. So I'm very happy that you guys are learning well. All right. So now from $1 to $16, I have to times 16. Perfect. Okay, and from 100. So if I times 16 to one side, means the other side I also have to times 16. Right, very good. Okay, so once again, what is 100 times 16? I know that it is actually 1,600, right? So just add, okay, just times 16 to the first number. Okay, and I know that I get 160. Okay, so $16 is actually 1,600 cents. All right. Okay, come, let's move on to the next page. Okay, so now instead of dollars to cents, what am I changing now? From cents, I want to change a dollar, right? So just now we write, okay, $1 equals to 100 cents. Now we want to switch it. Okay, I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to write, okay, and I'm going to write 100 cents equals to $1, right? Okay, and let's look at the clues we have over here. So, okay, so when we want to convert cents to dollars, we divide by 100, right? So we remove two zeros. Okay, so if I have, if I know that 100 cents equals to $1, okay, how am I going to get 800 cents? This is very easy for you guys, I believe. All right, so I'm just gonna change. I know I have 2 times 8, and I will get 800 cents, right? And on the other hand, what do I need to do? I times 8 over here. And I know this is $8. Okay, and just now we also say that, oh, we actually have a faster method. So what's the faster method over here? Okay, we just have to cancel the 2 zeros. All right, so we cancel 1 0, cancel 2 zeros, and we know that 500 cents is actually just equals to $5, right? Okay. So if you want to just remember the shortcut, okay, the shortcut is actually we just we just cancel 2 zeros, right? Okay, but if you want to learn what's the longer method, okay, you just need to remember if $1 equals to, okay, 100 cents, okay, if you want to find $8, okay, from $1 to $8, okay, what's the number that you have to multiply by? All right, okay, very good. Come, let's move on to the next part. Okay, let's see how long more do we have, right? Okay. Okay, so now $4.20, right? For $4.20. I know that I want to express it in cents, and I know that 400. Okay, I know that $4 equals to. Okay, I know that my $4 equals to 400 cents. Okay, so what do I have to do? I just have to add 20, right? So 400 plus 20, I will just get 420 cents. Okay, so it's right over here, 420 cents. All right, come, next question. I want to express it in dollar. Okay, so $3 is already in dollars, so we don't have to do any changes, right? 600 cents. Remember just now we say if I want to change cents to dollars, what do I have to do? I cancel 2 zeros, right? And I know this is $6, okay? So for this one, it's very easy, isn't it? What is $3 and $6? If you add them together, that would just be $9. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now let's see if you guys understood what did I just say. All right. So $9 equals to how many cents? Okay, so if I want to change dollars to cents, what do I have to do? I times 100, right? So I just add 2 zeros at the back. All right, so it's just, okay, let me change it. What do I need to do? Let me change to red pen. I know that on top, I have to add 1 0, add another 0. Okay, so this is when I want to change from dollars to cents. All right, next one. Okay, very good. Add 2 zeros. Okay, next one. When I want to change from cent to dollars, do I still add 2 zeros? No, right? Instead, what am I going to do? I'm going to remove 2 zeros. All right, so let's try to remove 2 zeros together. Okay, strike off one more, and I know that the answer is just $12. Very good. Okay, so now, okay, I believe at this point of time, you guys should be able to get it done yourself, right? So this question, you already did it just now. It's just 200 cents for $2. And for $30, okay, if you want to change to cents, we're just going to add 2 zeros, right? So if 30 plus 2 zeros at the back, we get 3,000, right? So convert dollars to cents, we add 2 zeros. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's have a mini summary on what did we learn just now, right? So when we are converting money to the same units, right? We want to convert money to the same units. If we are converting dollars to cents, okay, what do we have to do? We times 100. So we add 20. If we are converting cents to dollars, do we still add 2 zeros? No, right? Because when we convert cents to dollars, we divide by 100, right? So instead of adding, I have to remove 2 zeros. All right. Okay, very good. Come, let's move on to the next page. Okay, so now I want to compare which one is more expensive. I have two items over here. Okay, one teddy bear and a car. Okay, you might be thinking, oh, definitely a car is more expensive than a teddy bear. Okay, let's see if that's the case. All right. So when I want to compare the price, of course, I don't really want to compare them in like dollars and then like cents, right? Because this is $2. So if you just compare the dollars, you might think that, oh, the teddy bear is more expensive, but is that actually the case? Okay. So now let's see. Okay. So if I convert all of them to coins, to cents, okay, I realize that the teddy bear is 350 cents. However, the toy car is 400 cents. So I know that who is more expensive? Definitely the toy car, right? So when you want to convert the price, when you want to compare the price, what should you do? Okay, you need to convert the price to the same unit before you compare. All right. Okay, moving on to the next page. Okay, so Cheryl brought three items as shown below, right? So one storybook, one game set, and one teddy bear, right? So the first question over here is which item costs the least amount of money? So list, okay, what does list means? Is it the most expensive one or the, okay, is it the most expensive one or the cheapest one? The cheapest one, right? So out of all this, okay, who is the cheapest one? Remember what did I say just now? If you want to compare the money, okay, what do you need to do? You need to make sure they are of the same unit, right? So this is already 850 cents, right? But you see, so I want to convert everything to cents, right? So let's take a look at the storybook first. Okay, I have $5.300. So how do I convert $5 to cents? I know that I just have to times 100, right? So $5 is 500. Okay, and after I add 300, okay, what do I get? I know that I get 800, right? Very good. Okay, so that is for storybook. Next one. Okay, for a game set, I want to convert $2. Okay, so $2 I know is 200 cents. And I want to add 700, so I know it is 900. All right, good job. Okay, so in total, we have 800, 900, and 850. So I know the most cheap one is definitely, yes, I already see answer, right? So it's A, very good. All right, so A is the cheapest one. All right, so next one. Okay, so which item costs the greatest amount of money? Means it's the most expensive one, right? And based on our conversion just now, we already know that, okay, 900 is definitely bigger than 850 and 800, right? So we can say that, oh, the most expensive one is actually just B, the game set. All right. Okay, so for this part of the class, okay, what do we learn? Okay, we compare the price, right? So we have three things, once again, remember? So we have one storybook, one game set, and one teddy bear. However, did we just compare them by dollars and cents? No, okay, what did we do? Okay, we compare them, we convert the price to the same unit, all right? So for teddy bear is already in cents, right? 850 cents, so we don't have to change it anymore, okay? Afterwards, okay, for a game set, we changed the $2 to 200 cents, correct? Okay, then afterwards, we add them together and we get 900 cents. And finally, for the storybook, we changed the $5 into 500 cents, right? And then afterwards, we add them together and we got 800 cents. Then finally, we can come up with a conclusion which item is the cheapest and which item is the most expensive one. All right. So now let's try to quickly solve this bonus word problem over here. All right. So look at the pictures below and answer the following question. Okay, Vicky bought a bag and a pair of shoes. What is the total cost? So I know the bag is $15 over here, and I know the shoe is $28 over here. So I want to find the total cost. Okay, so it means what do I want to do? I want to know, okay, if I'm gonna buy both of them, how much do I need to pay? So how do I find? I just take 15 plus 28. All right. Okay, 15 plus 28. Okay, and what is the answer? Okay, so for those that are slightly more fast with mental sums, okay, it's 43. Okay, but is this the correct answer? No, right? Why is it wrong? The answer should be 43. Okay, very good. This is because, okay, when I'm writing money, right, I need to make sure I have the money sign. Okay, so it should be the dollar sign followed by a 43. All right, so let's write the correct answer down, 43. Afterwards, okay, let's move on to the next question, right? So Vicky used a note, a $50 note to pay for the items, right? How much change did she receive? Okay, she received the blank amount of money, right? So change, what does the word change means, okay? So I hope you guys know what's the meaning of change, but if you guys are not so sure, change means if you give the cashier $50 now, how much is the cashier gonna return you? Okay, what's the amount? So very easy, right? I know that in total, these two items are $43, right? And I give the cashier $50. So the cashier will just take my $50, okay, and deduct the price that I have to pay, which is 43. Okay, and I know that I will get, okay, you guys should be very good with this. Okay, $7. All right. Okay, so the answer is just 7. Okay, let me write again. All right. Okay, some problem with my pen. Okay, never mind. The answer is just here, right? It's $7. All right. Okay, so now, once again, another mini summary, all right? So when it comes to word problems, what are some things that you need to learn from the question that we did together just now? Okay, first, what is the total? So the total means if you're gonna buy both the item, how much money are you gonna pay? Okay, and to find that, you have to add the price of the two items, right? So we're doing addition. All right, next, if I want to find the change, okay, do I still do addition? No, instead I would do subtraction, right? So what do I subtract? I'll take the total minus the amount of money spent, okay? Okay, so this is the end of today's lesson. So please remember to submit your homework through the link, okay, in our WeChat or WhatsApp group, okay? Then you might be thinking, teacher, where is my homework? Okay, so just take a look at the handout you have currently. The homework is at the back. Okay, so you will see the label homework. Okay, so please submit it before Wednesday, 6 p.m. next week. All right, if you want to get the start. So once again, remember our live sessions, we have a total of 3 sessions. Okay, so 1 lesson every week, Thursday, 5 to 5:40 p.m. So it's free to join through WeChat and YouTube, and the playback is provided. Okay, submit the homework to get 1 star. And if you get 3 stars, you're gonna get a certificate, right? And also, okay, all the questions that we did just now, okay, they are taken from our MOE Math Core Topic Masterbook. Okay, in Chinese we call it 数学30大专题突破书. All right. So if you are interested to know to try more questions, okay, feel free to scan the QR code, whether is it WeChat or WhatsApp, so that you can reserve a book for your children, for yourself. Okay, whether depending on whether you're watching this video with your children or you're just watching it alone. All right. Okay, with that, that's it for today, and I will see you next week. Thank you very much.